The year is 2016, and Nintendo's current gen console, the Wii U, was failing miserably. Yeah, this thing just wasn't flying off of shelves, especially compared to the Wii, the DS, and most notably, the 3DS. Yeah, don't worry guys, while the Wii U was failing, the 3DS was actually selling really well. So well that Nintendo finally stopped pushing out games for it well into the Switch's life. The 3DS was a very successful handheld console with many, and I mean many, great titles. The Wii U, on the other hand, still had really great titles, but with the failure of the console, not many people played them. Games like Mario 3D World, Bayonetta 2, Pikmin 3, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and so many more were and still are amazing games, but not many people played them. So with money on their mind, Nintendo decided to start porting some of the best Wii U games to the 3DS in order to give people experiences that they wouldn't have played otherwise. Or they just wanted to make money. Yeah, that's probably why. So in this video, we're going to be looking through the 3DS versions of some of Nintendo's best Wii U games, so let's just get into it. Super Mario Maker originally launched on the Wii U in 2015, and it was groundbreaking. Being able to create and play your own Mario levels is still such a neat concept. The Wii U's gamepad seemed like the perfect tool for this, as you could place objects using the touchscreen and then play your creations on the big screen. And honestly, I still stand by the fact that Mario Maker on the Wii U is more fun than Mario Maker 2 because of the level editor. You were able to do so many cool things with the editor, like adding in costumes inspired from other games using Amiibo, for example. You were able to post your creations for the world to see, and were also able to play other people's levels, giving you infinite content to play. It's the little things really that gave Mario Maker so much life and charm. It was truly something special. So of course, Nintendo said, let's take the life out of this game and put it on a shitty console. Yeah, so Mario Maker on the 3DS works fine enough. You have basically the same builder as the Wii U game. All of the styles, items, and objects are here from the Wii U port. Mostly. Yep, Amiibo support is gone, meaning that you can no longer use those cool costumes. Oddly enough though, you can still use the Mario 30th Anniversary Amiibo to get the same power-up as the Wii U version, but that's it. And this makes sense though, because this was marketed as a Mario Maker exclusive amiibo, so it wouldn't really be right if it wasn't compatible. But it just really sucks that they took out the main amiibo support, because one of my favorite parts of making levels in the original game was being able to play as different characters other than Mario. But that's not the biggest offense of the 3DS port. I'm being dead serious when I say that they took out all of the online support. Yep, that's right, you can no longer upload your levels for people to play, or play other people's levels. This means that so much content is straight up removed from the 3DS versions. Oh, but don't worry guys, you can still play a few recommended online levels from the Wii U version of the game, and of course the Nintendo made levels. Whoop-de-fucking do. And what makes absolutely no sense at all is that you can still share levels locally through wireless play, meaning if you want to play your friends' levels, then you can do so if you're in the same room. But why not add online support? It wouldn't have been difficult to do so at all, considering that the 3DS already has online support. One can make the argument that Mario Maker on the Wii U relied heavily on Miiverse, meaning that it would be hard to recreate something similar with the 3DS version. And while yes, Miiverse was a big part of receiving feedback on your levels in the Wii U version, it wouldn't have taken that much effort to make a workaround. Just look at Mario Maker 2, that system honestly works better than Miiverse ever did if you ask me. But yeah, ripping all of the online support out of this game ultimately removes one of the biggest selling points of the original game. Also, this is not really a major thing, but this game looks like absolute shit. I mean, just look at some screenshots compared to screenshots from New Super Mario Bros. 2, a similar looking game that is running on the same hardware, and the difference is night and day. I don't know if it has to do with Nintendo just downgrading the Mario U textures or what, but I think a little extra time to update the graphics and optimize the game more would have been great, because along with the graphics, the frame rate chugs a lot. Even in the official Nintendo levels, the game has performance issues. But at the end of the day, Mario Maker 3DS just feels rushed out the door. It's weird because in concept, this sounds like it would work really well on the 3DS. The dual screen setup in the 3DS's portability would have generally given this game more value. But unfortunately, Nintendo decided to take away what made the game so fun in the first place, effectively ruining this port of the game. Alright, let's get some positivity in here now, and what better to do that than with one of the most positive games I've ever played. Yoshi's Woolly World is a very cute and charming game, man, and it's damn near perfect. It's a very easy yet fun 2D platformer that takes elements from previous games in the Yoshi's Island series. What made it truly unique though was the art style and how everything in the game was made out of yarn. I have a lot of memories playing this game, especially co-op with friends and family, and I just really wish that this game got a port to the Switch instead of whatever the fuck this was supposed to be. But thankfully, the game is isn't entirely stuck on Wii U, bring in Poochie in Yoshi's Woolly World for the 3DS, which launched a month before the Switch hit store shelves. Like, come on now, man. They really had to put this on 3DS instead of the Switch? I mean, I get it. Crafted World was probably well underway, so it makes sense, but how cool would it have been to play Yoshi's Woolly World on Switch the day the console launched? I would have been playing it more than Breath of the Wild, damn it. Anyway, so Poochie in Yoshi's Woolly World. What makes it stand out from the original Wii U version? Well, not much really. This is one of the very few 3DS ports that quite literally port everything from the original game. Every level is here with the exact same level designs as the original game. Along with that, the controls are pretty much indistinguishable, making this game feel like a very faithful port. Of course, the graphics and frame rate took a hit, which I can look past because this is literally a portable version of the exact same game. Hell, if you have one of the new 3DS models, then you can achieve 60 FPS, further blurring the line between the two versions. Oh, but this is Nintendo we're talking about here, and we still have the other half of the title to talk about. The main new gimmick in the 3DS version is the inclusion of Poochie levels. These are side-scrolling auto runners in which you are tasked with meeting certain criteria, like collecting a certain item X amount of times or popping balloons. These are actually pretty fun, but very easy, which makes sense. I was not really expecting Nintendo to add difficult levels to a game that was already pretty easy, but this is still a good piece of extra content nonetheless. And hey, scanning the Poochie amiibo unlocks special missions where you can unlock special costumes for Poochie, so that's neat. Speaking of amiibo, this game doesn't get rid of the original functionality. You can still scan amiibo to unlock special Yoshi costumes. Hell, they even added more costumes for amiibo that weren't released when the original Wii U version came out. They didn't have to do that at all because the original set of amiibo costumes was good enough. But you know what's even cooler? You can now design your own custom Yoshi costumes. Like, what? That's so cool. Now, unfortunately, you gotta be f***ing Picasso to learn how to use this mechanic, but it's such a cool addition to the game that it might be my favorite. You could spend hours designing different costumes for Yoshi, and you would literally never get bored. Just imagine how cool this feature would have been on the Wii U though. Can you picture customizing your own Yoshi and then playing as him on the big screen? That would have been something truly amazing, but at least we have it here nonetheless. However, like Super Mario Maker on the 3DS, this game is kind of held down by some technical issues. I personally didn't have a problem with the resolution or frame rate because with a game like this, that stuff isn't really a deal breaker. However, due to the smaller screen of the 3DS, there are some slight, and I mean very slight, screen crunch issues. Again, this is not really a deal breaker considering that it's nothing more than a minor inconvenience, but I thought I would bring it up anyway. Yeah, those are pretty much my only complaints, if you can even call them complaints. This is a really good port of the original Yoshi's Woolly World that adds just as much content as some of the Switch ports we see today. Some even consider this to be the definitive way to play this game, but I kinda disagree there. Playing Yoshi's Woolly World on the Wii U in HD makes you truly appreciate the artistic direction they chose with this game, which is why I'm mad that they made a 3DS version instead of a Switch version. So I still think that the Wii U is the definitive way to play this game, but if all you have is a 3DS, then go nuts, man. This is still a very valid and convenient way to play this masterpiece of a game. But yeah, all in all, this is just such a step up from the Mario Maker 3DS port. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker has always been an odd game to me. It's not bad by any means, far from it, but I just thought it was weird how this game got ported before Mario 3D World. Anyway, this game is a special case, because not only did it get a port to the 3DS, but it also got a port to the Switch at the same time. And, okay, really man? They really couldn't do this with Yoshi's Woolly World? Damn it, bro, come on now. Alright, so let's just cut to the chase. What makes this version of the game different from the original Wii U version? Well, similar to the Switch, this game also adds Mario Odyssey related levels, which is really nice to see. But yes, this also means that the game removes any trace of Mario 3D World. The game's ending was changed to tie into Odyssey, and the Mario 3D levels were removed just like the Switch version of the game, which is fine. The 3D World levels in the original game weren't anything special as they were literally just ripped from 3D World, while the Odyssey levels are actually Captain Toad levels. But you know what would have been cool? What if instead of tying this version of the game into Mario Odyssey, they made it connect with 3D Land in some way, considering that 3D Land is the 3D Mario game on the 3DS. This would have made the 3DS version of Captain Toad more distinct from the Switch port, because otherwise this is pretty much the Switch version just with crappy visuals. But of course there are some more differences that are exclusive to the 3DS version of the game. For one, since a lot of the gimmicks in the original version of the game were tailor-made to be used with a Wii U gamepad, they feel right at home with the touchscreen of the 3DS. The Switch version on the other hand often had you using gyro controls as a substitute for not being able to use the touchscreen in docked mode. So for that reason, I think this game actually feels better to play on the 3DS. However, there were also some very minor things that were tweaked tweaked for this version that just kind of baffled me. For example, some of the hidden objectives for the levels were changed, most likely due to hardware limitations, which kind of sucks, but it isn't the end of the world. And of course, the special episode DLC is not available in the 3DS version of the game, which makes sense because at this point, the 3DS was kind of dead in the ground and abandoned by Nintendo. But this particular port of the game will forever remain as one of the weirdest 3DS ports ever because it was released on the 3DS and Switch at the same time. So is it the definitive version to play this game? I don't think so. In fact, I still stand by the fact that the Wii U version is the best way to play this game, even with the extra content of the Switch version. Its benefits outweigh the extra content, so I still think the Wii U version is superior. So out of all the games discussed in this video, I think the rankings go something like this. In the very last place, we have Mario Maker 3DS. While it takes the core mechanics from the original game, it also takes out very important features that made the original Wii U game so enjoyable, like online play. Then I would probably put Captain Toad in second place, because while it is a faithful port of the Wii U game, the locked frame rate and technical limitations along with the altered hidden objectives bring the game down for me. And finally, we have Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World in the first place, because not only is it a one-for-one port of the original game, but it also includes more content that's actually worthwhile. But yeah, those are some of the Wii U games that were ported to 3DS. And I know there are some I missed, like Hyrule Warriors, and I guess Smash 4 could be considered as one too, so maybe I'll make a follow-up to this video. But for now, that's going to end this one, so thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.